just making a quick video about going to Benidorm. I've been 25 times and I just want to give you some information if you're thinking of going to Benidorm as a single traveller or stag do or hen do or with a child, just to give you some idea of things that you can do, hotels and things like that. So starting off, I always book, I don't book a package, I always book it separately. I usually use Travel Republic, book me a hotel. You can get an hotel room in Benidorm for about 50 quid. It's not expensive. Your flights, I've flown Ryanair, EasyJet, one way with just with hand luggage is normally about an 80 quid flight, so that's what you're looking at. So now you've booked your hotel, you've booked your flight, you've turned up in Benidorm, and you've got to get from the airport in Alicante to Benidorm itself. You've got a few options. You can jump in a taxi. That is going to cost you from the airport to Benidorm, it's going to cost you about 80 quid. That's what it is. There's a bus. If you're in the airport, if you go to level -2, you can get a bus from Alicante Airport into Benidorm. One way, it's €12. You'll see a woman walking around with a clipboard. She will sell you a ticket. You will show that to the bus driver. He'll put your cases on, take you to Benidorm. The bus only runs, I think the last bus is about 9 PM at night. So obviously if you're landing after that, the only choice you've got is a taxi. What I normally do is I book a transfer. You can book a transfer with a company called Hopper, and when it's on offer, it's about €59. So it might cost you like, I don't know, 52, 53 quid, maybe, something like that. And you can book a car one way from Alicante Airport to Benidorm. If there's 3 of you, 4 of you, it's quite an economical way of doing it. Now the next thing I want to talk about is where you're staying, the hotels in Benidorm. I've stayed at a lot of the hotels. The hotel that I would recommend is the Levante Club and Spa. It's a 4-star hotel. You're a little bit away from the action. It's not noisy. The only thing is it's an adults only hotel. So if you've got kids, obviously you can't take kids. But the food's alright. The rooms are big and airy. Nice balcony. Nice pool. I don't think you can go wrong. Now I've stayed at the Sol Pelicanos, which is the Solana in the Benidorm series. Last time I stayed there, I was leaving my room at about 10 o'clock at night. I opened my door and passed out in the corridor with some man probably in his 70s, passed out on the floor asleep. I went to reception. I said to him, there's a guy passed out outside my room. They said okay, told them what room I was in, left it with the reception, went out on the night out, came back at maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, got in the lift. There was 2 couples in the lift, and they said, have you had a good night? I said yes. I said, I hope that guy, and I told them about the bloke passed out, and one of them said I'd have had his wallet, I'd have nicked his wallet, that's what I'd have done. Anyway, I walked back to my room, same bloke there, same position, snoring away, not moved. I got into bed, and at 7 o'clock in the morning, all I heard was, somebody's stolen my wallet! So yeah, I think the Sol Pelicanos is a bit rough, it's noisy, doors banging, it's a sort of a stag do, hen do hotel. I wouldn't recommend it. I've done a review on the Dynastic. I think if you're going with kids, the Dynastic would be alright. I think that'd be okay. I've stayed at the Flash Hotel. I think that's overrated. People stay there going, oh, thinking it's posh, I'm staying at the Flash. But the rooms I think are a bit crap. And I've stayed at the Orange, which out of all them hotels I would say is the worst. It's noisy. I definitely wouldn't recommend staying at the Orange. Now when you're in Benidorm, I think your best bet probably is to just go bed and breakfast, book your room, bed and breakfast, and then have meals out, because the hotel food isn't that brilliant, to be honest. I've stayed in all them hotels, I've eaten in all their hotels, and the hotel food's pretty crap. But to be honest, the food in Benidorm generally is crap. You know, it's all day breakfasts, burgers. You know, if you like food, you're going to struggle. I've made this sort of video before, and I've had abusive messages going, if I see you, I'm going to knock your head off and all this sort of thing, because I'm complaining about the food, and people disagreeing with me, saying, oh, you can get a good meal in Benidorm. I'm not saying that. You can get a good meal, but you're very lucky. Places that I would recommend, if you want a curry, there's an Indian restaurant, the Curry Leaf. I've been there, that's good. I would recommend that. The Clay Oven, which is another Indian restaurant, well-known Indian restaurant in Benidorm, that's good. I would recommend that. And the good thing about the Clay Oven is they do fish fingers. So if you're taking a child, you can get fish fingers. Another place which is not too far from the Dynastic Hotel, there's a place called Sizzler's House. It's a steak burger place. From the outside it looks crap. You walk in there, it looks crap. And they'll say to you straight away, oh sir, have you got cash, because we don't take card. But I tell you what, the food in there is alright. You get a burger, you get a steak, it looks crap, but the food's alright. You know, again, people witter on about, there's a fish and chip shop called Ray's Chippy 2, going how marvellous that is. I've been in there a couple of times. It's like walking into a conservatory that's dyed yellow because of the fat. And if it was a fish and chip shop in the UK, you wouldn't entertain it, you wouldn't have it. The same with the corner bar. Everybody's always wittering on about the corner bar being like the best breakfast in Benidorm and all this sort of thing. Last time we went, we ate in there probably 3 times, and I wasn't impressed with the breakfast. My partner had a salad, that was crap. It's alright, if you want to go in there and have a toasted sandwich and a bit of lemon meringue pie and a coffee or a tea, it's fine. But for a meal, again, I wouldn't recommend the corner bar, despite people on Benidorm telling you how marvellous it is. So anyway, the next thing I want to get onto is trips. Now, yeah, there's quite a few places to go. There's a zoo called Terra Nature. They've got elephants and big cats and things like that. I've been 3 times, I think I've been to it. Last time we went, the animals looked like they weren't being looked after very well. It's quite expensive. I think it cost us nearly €100 for 2 adults and a child. So I wouldn't recommend Terra Nature. There is Mundomar, which is a sort of, they've got like penguins and dolphins. It's like a water zoo, you know, based more on birds, but it's more based on you know, marine mammals. They do a dolphin show, and for about, I think it was about 15 quid, you could have a child go and touch the dolphins and get a picture. And I tell you what, 15 quid, that is a bargain. So I would recommend Mundomar. I recommend you doing that. If you're going with kids, go to Mundomar. That's definitely worth going. Near the hotels, sort of opposite where the Dynastic Hotel is, there's a place there called Round the Town.